Hey, it's your teacher, Mr. J, Professor J Johnson, and I'm back. And today we're going to be talking about a 5th grade standard, which is just, if you would have clicked the link from 4th grade, you'll be able to see this. But if not, welcome. What we're going to be doing is breaking down changing fractions to decimals, but I'm going to include it for the 5th grade, okay? So basically, when you're changing fractions to decimal, there's no difference here. Let's go ahead and take a look at a fraction. So we have 3/10. Then we'll look at 5 3/10. And then we'll go ahead and change this up. So we have, we're going to stop this. Nope. Hey, it's your teacher, Mr. J, Professor J Johnson, and I'm back. And today we're going to be talking about a 5th grade standard for changing fractions to decimals. If you can say it, you own it when it comes to fractions and decimals. We're going to get to that in just a second. Before I start, I always like to ask if there's anything going on with you guys. I hope you're doing well. If you have anything that you need to ask me, you have any questions, you need to talk to me, you can hit me in the questions link below. But let's go ahead and get to it. So let's say we wanted to change 15/100ths into a decimal, okay? The easiest thing to do is to actually set up what's a place value chart. I put my decimal there. I'll say, well, it's 15/100ths. Before I can put it here, I need to label my place value chart. So I have ones, tenths, hundredths, okay? So I'll keep my decimal below, and then I'll say, okay, I have 15/100ths. The way I say it is the way it should be put over here. I hear hundreds at the end. That means my 15 should end in the hundreds place. So I have 15/100ths, just like so. Now that's the 4th grade. 5th grade is pretty much the same thing. The only thing that's different is you go to the thousands place. So let's mix this up. Let's make the numbers a little bit larger, and we'll go to the thousands place. We'll do 17 and 365 thousandths, okay? So when we do this, all we're gonna do is add a different place value here. So I'll just set this up like so. We have a decimal, we have our ones and our tens, right? That's on the left side. These are our whole numbers. The decimal stands for and, right? We say and because we're talking whole numbers to parts of numbers. When we read this number, we do the same thing. 17 and, just like the decimal points being said, 365,000. So let's label these places. We have tenths place, hundredths place, and then we have thousands place. Okay? What we're going to do is put our decimal here. We read that 17, okay? So we put the 17 here. 1/10, just like before. Just that when we go to the thousands place, we say 365 thousandths. I'm saying thousands, I'm ending in the thousands, so my actual 5 from 365 should end in the thousands place. So we have 365 thousandths. And it's just that easy. It really is no more complicated than that. The only thing that you might hear sometimes is you might see numbers that maybe it has to do with like money or something like that, where you might see it written one way normally, but it looks a little bit different. So let me show you what I mean by that. Let's say we know that if we have 3/10ths, we could say 3/10ths is equal to 30/100ths, and that is also equal to 300 thousandths. So you want to keep this in mind because sometimes somebody might ask you to write 3/10ths, and you could write 3/10ths here. But if I wanted to see that same number written like that, I could add it as 30/100ths here or 300 thousandths. The value doesn't change at all, but the way that it's written here changes. But notice that when the way that's written here changes, the way that it's said here changes. So somebody can't ask you for 3/10ths and then you write 300 thousandths. Technically the value is the same, but if they ask you for the 3/10ths, you should give them what they're asking for, which is 3/10. okay? So don't get confused by that. I just kind of added that here at the end because I know sometimes that's confusing. The values are the same, but if they're said a certain way, you should write them the way that they're said. I hope that helps. I'll be doing more 5th grade things as time goes on. If you have any questions, hit me in the questions link below. If you're not one of my students, make sure you include your email when you do that, all right? Thanks. Peace.